Hello everybody, my name is Paul Tace. In this video we are going to be unboxing the DJI Mavic Mini 2. We are going to be looking at its specs and we're going to be giving you any useful information if you're upgrading from a Mavic Mini to a Mini 2. Let's get started. Okay guys, so as I said, we're going to be going through an unboxing. Now I've gone out and bought this myself today. It was £549 and I've bought the Fly More combo. If you do want the just the drone itself, it's £419, and I believe in America the Fly More combo is $599 and the drone itself is around $450. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and unbox everything. So when we take it out of the box, it comes in this this nice little bag here. Again, this is a really soft bag. It's well padded, but me personally, I would prefer something a bit harder, just to make sure it's well protected. But it's pretty much the same as the Mavic Air 2, maybe a bit smaller in size. And we've got this strap here, which is really useful. It's good to be able to carry it on your shoulder rather than having to put it in another bag or hold it in your hand. Okay, so inside, this is it. This is the Mini 2. It basically looks almost identical to the Mavic Mini. We've got this propeller guard on here. I'm going to have to work out how to use this. Just pops off, nice and simple. And after my last video about the problem I've been having with the propellers on my Mavic Mini, that's going to be really useful to have. We've got these little pieces of paper here which hold the propellers in. Again, I might actually keep these, depending on how easy they are to rip off. There we go, I'll put that to the side for now. I've just got a message from Argos telling me it's ready to pick up. So again, we've got the same kind of gimbal protector as on the Mavic Mini, and as we can see on the screen here, we've got a 4K sensor. Now the propellers are pretty much, they look very similar to the Mavic Mini, so they've obviously got the orange tips. I'm not sure how you tell which ones are the clockwise and anti-clockwise. You can't do it by the tips, they've got little markings on here just by the screws, so you know which propellers to put where. So as I said before, it's very similar to the Mavic Mini, the same kind of layout. We've got the back part here which lifts up where the battery goes, and actually there's a battery in there at the moment. We've got where the micro SD card goes. Now you don't actually get a micro SD card with the Mini. And just here we've got the charging slot. I believe this is the micro USB-C now. I'll double check and write that on the screen. If we open it up, so it's a very similar build quality to the Mavic Mini. So if you've seen that drone, you'll know what you're getting with this. Now this one's actually called the Mini 2. So I know I've been calling it the Mavic Mini 2. I just think that's what people are going to be searching for when they're looking for it. But just so I don't get loads of comments in the section down below, it is called a Mini 2. Okay, so now this is the power bank. It holds 3 batteries. You can only charge one at a time, and it charges them one after the other. Again, this has got the in part is the micro C, I believe. Again, I'll double check and put that on the screen. And we've also got the output, so if we want to charge our phone while we're out, we can do that. And on the side, they've got a little power button. When we press that, we can see how charged the batteries are. And at the moment, these are all completely flat. Next, I'm going to go over the remote. Now, this is the same remote pretty much, I believe, as the Mavic Air 2, and this is pretty big. I mean, if we compare it to the size of the drone, let's hold this down. The remote is actually bigger and feels heavier than the drone. So it's still, I say, it's a portable drone, but maybe not so much the remote. But having said that, I really do love I love this kind of remote more than the Mavic Mini's remote. Okay, so again, here's a remote. The joysticks are kept at the bottom. You can just pull them out and then just screw them in at the top. And then at the top, this slides off, and we can pull the plugs out. They're already there. This one's for the iPhone, and you can just plug your phone straight into the top there. And then you'll be ready to go. Okay, so again, this is, it's very similar to Mavic Air 2 if you haven't already seen one like this. We can control the speed from cinema to normal to sports mode here, on-off button, return to home, and the stop function. If it's going, you can just press the return to home once and it will stop where it is. We've got the function button, which is programmable, and we've also got the switch between a video and photo mode. On the back we've got the control for the gimbal, and we've also got the record button for the video and the photos. Okay, so I actually prefer this remote to the Mavic Mini's remote. It's a lot, although the Mavic Mini one is a lot thinner, we've got these antennas which are really annoying. We never know what we're supposed to be doing with them. And then we've got these little flappy bits on the bottom which don't really hold the phone properly. So although it's a lot bigger and it would be a bit more annoying to be carrying around, it's a lot easier to use. And it's also got the OcuSync 2 technology in. Now this OcuSync 2 technology is going to give you a far greater range than even some of the most professional drones out there on the market actually. In the US you can be looking at a 10K range. I believe in the UK you're looking around 6K. So you're still getting a really big distance with this. And it's not just the increased distance, you're also getting a stronger connectivity, so it's more reliable knowing where your drone is and not having these interruptions coming up, which make you kind of freeze and make your heart sink. So that's a really huge improvement for the Mavic Mini 2. And as you'd expect, you also get all the normal adapters. We've got all the instructions and the quick start guide. Come the 1st of January 2021 in the UK, you're going to have to register your drone and you're going to have to read your user manual. So make sure you don't throw that away. And in the top of the bag, we've got all our spare propellers. We've got a screwdriver. And we've got some spare joysticks too. So just in case you're wondering, we've got 6 spare pairs of propellers. That was hard for me to say. And we've got 3 clockwise and 3 anti-clockwise. And again, this is going to change the same way on your Mavic Mini. You undo the screw and you screw them in. Okay guys, so I'm just going to go over the spec quickly. As I've said before in some of my other videos, we are going to be able to shoot a 4K video with this, and we are going to be able to take good quality pictures. We can also shoot in RAW now, so when you're shooting your photos, you'll have a lot more control if you're really into photography afterwards, and you'll be able to adjust them in the RAW software. Now the 4K you can shoot at up to 30 frames a second, and the HD will go up to 60 frames per second. You'll also shoot at 100 megabits per second, so when you buy your SD card, make sure it can cope. So with OcuSync 2 we've now got a much greater, stronger transmission, which is something that I think will appeal to a lot of mini flyers out there. Okay guys, so along with the upgrade to the range, as you would hope, they've also made the propellers more powerful. I believe it can fly at 16 miles per hour, which is around 25 kilometers an hour. So this is obviously going to help it battle the wind that much more. And apparently it can deal with even stronger winds by tilting further. So in case you're unfamiliar with flying DJI drones at all, they're really easy to fly. You've also got some quick shots in there. The Mavic Mini 2 has the droney, where it flies away and backwards from you. The rocket, where it goes straight up and focuses on one target. It's got the orbit, or a circle, which just circles around you. It's got the helix, which spirals outwards. And it's got the boomerang, which goes away and comes back. Now I haven't taken it out and tested flying this yet, but I will be doing it very soon, and I'll be giving you a completely full review. But before I finish, I think there's some really important things to cover that might be useful if you've had a Mavic Mini and you're upgrading to the Mavic Mini 2. There are things that will convert over from the Mini to the Mini 2. For example, the gimbal guard is exactly the same. This is my Mavic Mini one. And it fits on there perfectly. Okay guys, another really useful thing to note is that all your ND filters and any lenses you have for that fact will actually convert from your Mavic Mini onto your Mavic Mini 2. So this is my old Mavic Mini ND32 filter, and now I can use it on my Mavic Mini 2. I've also got a video coming up on some variable polarizing ND filters, so if that interests you, hit that subscribe button and that bell icon, and you'll know as soon as that video comes out. Now there was one thing that I was really curious about, because the batteries actually look fairly similar size. This is the old Mavic Mini battery, and I'm going to put it in the Mini 2. And that's clicked in. If I press the on button, it's powered up, and that appears to be working fine. Now I don't know if that's a good idea, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it off. I'm going to send a message to DJI and I'm going to see if this is a safe thing to do, and then when I do a review on the drone later on, I will include this information. So again, if you want to know about this, hit that subscribe button and that bell icon. So with these batteries in my hand, the Mini one certainly feels heavier than the Mini 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop these on some scales and weigh them. So putting the Mini battery on the scale, it's coming in at 95 grams. And when I put the Mini 2 on, it's coming at 79 grams. Or 78 is. They're not the best scales, but there certainly appears to be about a 20-gram difference. So if you do want to put your mini battery into your Mini 2, which I don't recommend because I don't know what effect it will have on it, it apparently will work, but it will be heavier. So this is going to push you over the 250-gram mark. So whilst I was editing this video, I got in touch with DJI support and asked if it was safe to put the Mavic Mini battery in the Mini 2. I got a reply saying the Mavic Mini intelligent flight battery of the international version of Mavic Mini are compatible with the international version of the DJI Mini 2. Although the international version of the DJI Mini 2 can use the Mavic Mini's battery, the power will decrease and the total weight will exceed 250 grams, requiring registration in some countries and regions. Please check local rules and regulations before use. So I put thank you. So just to clarify, it will make the drone heavier and less powerful, but still not harmful to the drone. And he put it should not be a problem. So now we know. Please subscribe. Anyway, let's carry on. Now another thing to point out is that despite the fact the battery is lighter, you've still got 31 minutes of flight time, and I believe for the Mavic Mini it was only 30. So again, this is still an upgrade despite the fact that it's a lighter battery. Now a lot of people probably know this already, but the thing that makes the Mavic Mini 2 so powerful as a beginner drone is that it's got a lot of technology and it weighs under 250 grams. Now the 250 grams is a really important point because in a lot of countries you may not need to register, or you may not need the licenses you will need to fly any slightly bigger drones. Okay guys, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pretty much sum it up there. It looks to me like we've got this really powerful drone with a 4K camera which can battle the wind, and it's all under 250 grams, so there's less laws that are going to restrict us when we're flying. Now this is a pretty big deal. I say I really keen to get this out, and I'm going to do a few flights and see how they turn out and put these features to the test. Now another thing I just really quickly want to say, I don't particularly like saying it, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave an affiliate link in the description down below. Now I've literally just bought this drone so I can basically review it and share it with YouTube. So if this video has helped you decide buying it, it'd be really useful to me if you bought it through the link, because I get a small commission at no extra cost to yourself. Okay guys, that's it for this video. If it's been helpful, hitting that like button is a huge help to me as a creator. If you would like a more in-depth review on the Mini 2 or some tutorials and tips and tricks, hit that subscribe button and that bell icon and you'll know as soon as they've been made. Thanks for your time guys, and I hope to see you in the next one. Right, and I've got a new toy. Do you want to see it? What is it?
Go.
Yeah. Do you like it? What do you think of it?
It's good.
There we go, it's good.